Shabbat Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Shem Shai, Bahashim Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, to the 144,000 and one third, the hopeful elect of Israel. Shabbat Shalom and salutations on the brother Yashuan. And this is the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So stay alert. I had a hunch, right? Something came to my mind about how they're going to let the Northern Kingdom just come up and take your house, squat, claim it. And I was wrong about my assumption. So I just want to go through it with you real quick. And the reason why is because you got to search things out. You know, it's I'm gonna try to quote that. It is the glory of kings to search out a matter, right? Paraphrasing, but something about the Most High concealing a matter, but the glory of kings to search it out. Anyway, be ignorant of no thing. Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. So, this whole thing about, let's go to it first. Let's type in migrants, M-I-G, migrants squatting. Let's see what comes up. In houses, not the kimchi squat. Let's see what comes up. One day. Okay, so this guy comes up immediately. Now we should know, okay, what this is about, because they're using this. Migrant Venezuelan immigrants, TikTok video, sharing squatting tactics. Okay, so what is this being used for? This is being used to incite this civil war. And my thought on it was, wait a minute, it was only 20 years ago where they gave squatters these rights, right? Because they knew that this day was coming 20 years ago. So I set out to prove it, right? Let me see. Homeowner arrested after standoff with alleged squatter. See how they're playing this up? So my immediate thought is, okay, well, they implemented these. Doesn't he look like her? They implemented these laws 20 years ago for today, right? This is what I was thinking. So let's look a little bit into this real quick. But then it wasn't what I thought. 2 suspected squatters in custody after woman found dead in Duffin. Wow. So they killed the owner. So this thing is spiraling out of control. Okay, let's watch. Let's see, 10 years. Squatter tries to take over a vacant home. This is 10 years ago. Squatters claiming ownership of abandoned house, a national trend. This is 11 years ago. So my thought was they started this to have it in place for what we're watching now, right? But it turns out that that is not the case. And I'll show you why. But first, before I show you why, I want to watch this. Let's watch this. 2 days ago. This is Salah. Good Morning America, 2 days ago. Homeowner arrested after standoff with alleged squatter. Commercial.
A squatting showdown caught on camera. It is a scene that highlights how some homeowners across the country are battling squatters who try to use the law to take control of a property. Trevor Alt is here with the story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. So these headlines come as the NYPD says a homeowner was actually murdered by a pair of squatters that she walked in on. And officials want to avoid potentially dangerous confrontations. But the process of legally removing a squatter can be extremely frustrating and expensive and time-consuming. And some homeowners, like the one we're about to see, are fed up.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
This morning, a squatter standoff caught on camera by our station WABC.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
Adele Andaloro says she inherited this New York City house, but a group of people moved in and changed the locks.
Why they figure out the situation, but they're my house, man.
The NYPD called in, arresting one man.
Why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. You need to go to court.
But this man, forcing his way back inside, was allowed to stay.
That's not going on.
He told investigative reporter Dan Krauth he signed a lease in October, though he showed no proof.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court.
In New York City, squatters have tenants' rights after 30 days, making this a landlord-tenant dispute. So when Adele had the locks changed again...
You're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Police then took her away in handcuffs for unlawful eviction. When it comes to squatters, homeowners across the country have to navigate a slew of laws which vary by state. In Chicago, Danielle Cruz told our station WLS when she tried to sell her home in 2022, a woman moved in claiming to have a lease.
So we show up with the cops, and there's a young woman in there with all of her belongings. They said unfortunately they couldn't prove that she was trespassing. We have to go to court and follow the eviction process.
But one man is fighting back.
I understand you've been squatting at this residence.
ABC's Jacqueline Lee met with Flash Shelton, who calls himself the squatter hunter.
Is this a growing problem?
I think that it's a growing problem like anything else.
When a squatter took over his mother's house, Flash had her lease the home to him, and then he moved in with the squatter until they left. He's now using the same tactic at other homes.
I would have had a right as a leaseholder to go in, move in on him, put cameras on, and eventually lock him out, and that I could force him to civilly try to fight to get back into a property that he couldn't prove that he had a legal right to be in.
Experts advise always getting an attorney to navigate legal evictions, but warn it can be costly and take several months.
Squatters are looking for an opportunity, and if they think a property is not being maintained or visited, they may make attempts to enter that property that they have no rights to enter in.
Okay, that's all we need to send. That's crazy. And the love of many is about to wax freeze. Not cold. It's going to be freezing out here. This is crazy. All right, so I went in. After seeing that, I'm like, okay. Slovakia. Bear with me real quick. Squatters' rights started to win. I'm like, they set this thing up 20 years ago, right? To have it in place for today. But guess what? I was completely wrong because this squatter law in California, 1850 to 1858. Okay? So this thing goes all the way back. How did squatters' rights come into existence? Wait a minute, this process continued slowly until 2002, right? So this is what I was referring to, okay? But squatting, right? Clearly go good. Squatters' Rights, encyclopedia.com. On 13 February 1846, the settlers gathered at the local store and signed a document. Right? You see all of that? Origins of squatters' rights. Squatters' rights can be traced back to the Homestead Act of 1862, which allowed settlers to claim land in the western. So I'm probably sure that they knew that they could use whatever this is going back. Okay? But this kind of behavior has been going on, i.e. stealing a nigga's house or land. And that's what the English language is used for. And that's what the penal code is designed for. All these loopholes where you can one up and you can outsmart and you can, trick somebody while you're in court. Everything you need to know about squatters' rights in 2024. And see, this is a thing now, right? Because it's being used on the battlefield. What is this going to do? Okay, what is this behavior, right? Let's go back to this weird-looking guy, this guy, okay? What is this doing? This behavior, right, stealing houses, if you understand what this guy said, let me see, 158. Let's go here. Let's watch this real quick if you don't know what this is about.
A Venezuelan national dubbed the migrant influencer is at the center of controversy this morning. He has been using TikTok to coach migrants how to live in the U.S. by taking advantage of laws protecting squatters.
Now, how? Can't you just shut this nigga down like you do me when you hear the wrong word? If I say COVID, motherfucker, my shit gets like this. This is about to get shut down. Can't you just shut him down, or are you paying him? Are you promoting him like you do Travis Scott, right? Are you promoting him to do this? And why it's got so much traction and why it's trending bigger than ever. Don't you have control over who's trending and who's not? I know when you're taking thumbs up and likes and comments off of while I'm watching in real time. I know you have the ability to do that. So I know that this, right, is a psyop.
Adoba reports.
Parir una casa en United States.
In his most recent controversial TikTok video, Moreno was telling his followers to avoid living on the streets in the United States. They can, quote, invade empty homes and live there, saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited...
Invade. He said invade empty homes. Okay? So, yeah, this is being used as a tactic for what? Well, let's see. And invading one another. They shall have no, let's go there first. And invading one another. And then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let's see. This is second Ezra's regard king nor prince. Let's see. 15, I believe. I'm looking for a specific word, but I'm going to read. What did I do? Right, there we are. 2 Ezra 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right? She used the word invading, and that's the spirit. They shall not regard their kings nor princes in the course of action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that's what we see. That's what this dude, spoil their houses, take everything, take the house, right? She's going to say invading. Her words.
States, they can, quote, invade empty homes and live there, saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited, it can be seized, referring to squat.
It can be seized, invaded, right? Yeah. We're going to close right here, Isaiah 19. In Egypt, we can take it to Egypt. Okay. We're just going to read 2. Isaiah 19, this is what it's all, they're using these 1890 laws, right, to set this up. Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. We're watching that. And it's set up with them unrighteous decrees going back to 1800, right? So he's going to be able to take your house legally, and you're going to fight. You know what? That's not your house. It's my house now. I have no recourse except for to use this weapon. Allegedly. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect are edified. Yeah, they've been planning for this for a long time, and they're using existing laws and laws that are not on the books. They're creating them and putting them in place. All right, and it's pretty obvious what's going on. Anyway, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. With that, Shabbat Shalom.